campaign faces possible disruption due to stadium construction delays in Brazil. The world governing body says Curitiba, which will host the Socceroos group game against Spain, risks being dropped as a venue.
Curitiba's stadium is so far behind schedule, FIFA is preparing for the worst-case scenario, dumping the World Cup venue.
If you don't have a stadium, then you cannot have 4 games taking place here. So that's why, again, there is this emergency situation.
The Socceroos, one of 8 teams slated to play at the currently skeletal arena, and while the players will be able to make alternative arrangements should they need to, Australian football's governing body feels for the fans who've already made bookings. The FFA hoping the stadium will be far enough along to appease FIFA. The world governing body set to reassess how construction is proceeding on February 18. If Curitiba falls short, the prospect of the venue being dropped from staging games is a real possibility.
The decisions which have been made today will give us Curitiba as one of the host cities. It will be a difficult birth, but at the end we will have a baby.
The labour of love isn't just limited to Curitiba. Australia's first match against Chile at the Arena Pantanal in Cuiabá also suffering headaches, but again administrators are confident they can be overcome.
Aqui nós vamos estar no mínimo 3 meses antes ou 4 meses antes da abertura. Aí nós vamos estar com o nosso estádio já totalmente testado.
With the tournament kick-off just 5 months away, the time for excuses is swiftly evaporating. Nick Vinden, World News Australia.
Still with football, and Nicholas Anelka faces a minimum 5-game ban after being charged by the English Football Association over his controversial goal celebration. The 34-year-old performed a gesture considered to be anti-Semitic after scoring in West Brom's match against West Ham in December. He has until Friday morning to respond to the charge. Manchester City has swept into the League Cup final with a 3-0 win at West Ham. Alvaro Negredo and Sergio Aguero put City 2 goals up before half-time, with Negredo striking again after the break to cap a 9-0 aggregate victory. City will face Manchester United in the March decider if David Moyes' side can overturn a 2-1 deficit in the second leg of their semi-final against Sunderland tomorrow. And in A-League news, star striker Besart Berisha will leave the Brisbane Roar at the end of the season to join Melbourne Victory. The Albanian international had been in contract negotiations with the Roar for some time. The 28-year-old will be the Victory's international marquee for the next 2 seasons. The build-up to next month's Sochi Winter Games has been overshadowed by further security concerns. Police killed a senior Islamist militant in a shootout in Russia's North Caucasus. The shooting of Eldar Magatov is part of an intensifying security clampdown as the games approach. The incident follows 2 suicide bombings in Volgograd late last month, which killed 34 and injured several others. To tennis, and Agnieszka Radwanska has ensured this year's Australian Open will crown a first-time female winner. In the men's draw, Rafael Nadal spot in the semi-finals against the winner of tonight's match between Andy Murray and Roger Federer, while Dominika Cibulkova will face Radwanska in the final 4 after the Polish 5th seed knocked out defending champion Victoria Azarenka.
Victoria Azarenka was gunning for her 19th straight win at Melbourne Park. However, it was clear early on the defending champion would be pushed all the way by Agnieszka Radwanska. Azarenka was out of sorts, smashed 6-1 in the opening set, before redirecting fire in the second to level 7-5. But there was no denying Radwanska, who simply couldn't put a foot wrong.
Oh, that's incredible.
Azarenka's title defence shattered 6-love.
That's way...
Radwanska will line up in her first ever Open semi-final against another first-timer, Dominika Cibulkova, who grabbed every opportunity against Romania's Simona Halep. The dynamic Slovakian raced through the first set 6-3. The frustration rising for 11-seed Halep as her 20th-seeded opponent added another big scalp to a list, winning 6-love. In the men's quarters, Grigor Dimitrov became the first player to take a set off Rafael Nadal at the Open. The Bulgarian unleashing 8 aces on the way to taking the opening set 6-3. Dimitrov looked capable of anything, but Nadal dug deep, the 13-time Grand Slam winner levelling 7-6. After saving 3 set points, Rafa took the third. His racket hand was a mess, but the world number one pushed through the pain, breaking the 22-year-old early in the fourth and securing the match 6-2. Last night, Stanislas Wawrinka got the monkey off his back against Novak Djokovic, ending a 14-match losing streak in dramatic fashion against the Serbian. The Swiss had already gone down to Djokovic in 2 5-set epics at Grand Slams, but this time, Wawrinka stared down the challenge over 5. The 28-year-old's first Open semi-final will be against Thomas Berdych. Brett Clancy, World News Australia.
Simon Gerrans has retained his overall lead at the Tour Down Under despite Italian Diego Ulissi winning stage 2. Ulissi sprinted clear to beat Gerrans and Cadel Evans on the uphill finish at Stirling. Mike Tomalaris has the latest on the day. World Cycling's president arrived in Adelaide.
The new UCI administration changed hands in September last year. There was a massive clean-out. The new administration represents an aggressive approach to the eradication of dope treats. Brian Cookson arrives for his first look at Australia's premier tour. He likes what he sees, and after 4 months in the top job, says cycling's drug-tainted past has finally turned the corner.
Well, I'd say the clean-up's underway. I think good progress has been made, and I'll pay tribute to those who have made that progress.
The objective of the well-drilled Orica Green Edge machine was to defend Simon Gerrans' leader's jersey.
Our best option to win this tour overall is with Simon, so it'll be all hands on deck to get the victory for Simon today.
The trek into the Adelaide Hills was decided on the 20-kilometre undulating circuit. All eyes on the tough uphill finish were on local favourites Gerrans and Cadel Evans, but both were overwhelmed by a fast-finishing Italian.
As they come up towards the line, Ulissi gets it on the line.
Gerrans keeps the overall lead, but fears for the form of the stage winner.
I wasn't probably expecting to shoot past as quite as quick as he did in the final, but yeah, in saying that, he's obviously in great shape, and he's going to be a real threat to the overall, I think.
Evans moves to 4th on the overall standings, but realises there's plenty of work still to be done.
It's still pretty open, but every time we lose seconds on GC, obviously it's less chance that you're going to be up there in GC. So conceded a few more seconds to Simon today, which obviously isn't favourable.
At the Tour Down Under, Mike Tomalaris for World News Australia.
The Melbourne Stars have sealed top spot on the Big Bash ladder with a 5-wicket win over the Hobart Hurricanes. Visitors got off to the worst possible start, losing Tim Payne for a golden duck, managing a mediocre 9 for 131. Luke Wright made light work of the 132 target run. His half century off 36 balls, ensuring the Stars' victory in the last over. The Strikers and Renegades meet tonight at the Adelaide Oval. And finally in sport, tomorrow night we talk to the A-League player attempting to make a difference. A former Socceroo, Brisbane Roar's Jade North is one of the country's most recognisable football faces. And the FFA Indigenous Ambassador is hoping to give something back by helping discover a new generation of stars.
You always see a lot of talent come through, and it's just about keeping the kids motivated and getting them away from their family and from their homes, because a lot of them do tend to come from country areas, and it's hard to get them to the big cities.
Jade North's quest to uncover a new wave of stars tomorrow night on World News Australia. That's the day in sport. The more stars, the merrier, I say.
Indeed. Thanks, Lucy.
Thank you.